Hello everyone, it's Ethan from the Orlando Tourist here at Universal Orlando on Friday, August 26th. We were here just a few days ago and we were covering a lot of the updates around the park. They had a lot of scare zone updates and we have food tents everywhere. And also, before my last visit, I was also covering my whole guide to Halloween Horror Nights if you want to learn how to complete all the houses in one night, and also discussing which of the different ticket options and which one has the best value. And I was also going over the announcement that they announced like a week ago. They dropped all the original houses. That's also in another video. So we've been here a lot recently. But today we're going to go over my most hyped houses for Halloween Horror Nights this year. And we're also going to cover the construction around the park. They just put out some new merch yesterday. And there's also a lot of food tents going up. So we have some menus in there we're going to check out. And we have some other stuff around the park. We'll just show you guys. So as we come into the park, there's some clouds over here. We might get some weather later today. We'll find out. But like I said, we were here earlier in the week checking out all the scare zone construction. We have a lot of food tent menus up, merchandise that may be still in the park, and some new construction to show you guys today. And as you can see, these trusses right outside the archway are going to be for Horror Nights. We're just waiting for the medallion to be on the archway. As we enter the park, there's not much I see that's different today. We have some opening ceremonies work going on. It's the same as last time though. We have a whole scare zone over here. We did cover this last week and we will cover it on our way out of the park. They made a couple changes to it, so we will show you guys. We're gonna start in Hollywood today though. It's cool. So Nettlewood Cemetery, pretty much looking the same since our last few updates. We're waiting for the set piece to return. Had a little bit of damage to it. But yeah, not much else going on in this zone right now. This little set of stairs here is also new, and so is this one right here. So we should hopefully be getting some set pieces that accompany the stairs. The Pass Holder Lounge is open until 4, and that's where you can pick up your Pass Holder Appreciation Days magnet, which is like a Revenge of the Mummy magnet. Pass Holder Appreciation Days are going on until like September 31st. We're gonna head into the gift shop over here and show you some of the Horror Nights merchandise they have. You can also pay $130 and get your photo in the tribute store. So over here we have this new merch accompanying the when they announced all the houses, the $30 shirt. We also have some of the original merchandise that you can find in the boutique. They have a lot of it here in this store. None of the new merchandise is in this store though. That's in the front shop, and we're gonna see if they have any on the way out. We still have this barricaded set piece out here. We think that they're gonna add a set piece in the next few days, so we'll see what happens. Over in front of the horror makeup show, we have a new feature to the display. We have a hint for the Dead Coconut Club, which we've been covering in City Walk. As you can see, there's like a little tiki. I'm trying to let you guys see it. There's like a map, some stuff. We'll keep an eye out on the Dead Coconut Club for you guys. Also over here at Cafe La Bamba, they have some new vines and decor at the entrance of the restaurant. This is where you'll check in for RIP tours and possibly even the Unmasking the Horror tours. But yeah, I really love the decor here. We also have signage for the water show. It's called Ghoulish, A Halloween Tale, and they have now covered up the show times for some reason. In our last video, you could see them where it says side 1, side 2. We don't know if they're gonna have 2 separate shows or if it's just gonna be like theming to the record vinyl. As you can see, there's also some new lighting on the little signage too. So over here we have the Scarecrow Cursed Soil Scare Zone. But before we show you guys what's new, we're gonna show you guys this food tent. It looks like they're getting it ready, and they have a menu here. Pause the screen to look at the menu items. And then we have this cool fountain display over here as well. And a lot of the food tents are themed to the original houses. So this one would be themed to El Chupacabra. So like I said, this zone's supposed to be for Scarecrow Cursed Soil. This whole structure is going to be a walk-through barn As you can see, we have stage platforms. That's going to be for scare actors on the top and bottom over here to jump out and scare you. And then we also have this cool windmill as we enter. And we have this cool truck that's parked here as well. It looks like there's a speaker inside the truck as well. But yeah, I love the theming and hopefully we get some more soon. As we covered in our last few updates, you can see the lanterns in the trees. Those have been here for a bit. And it looks like we have some fencing along the side of the zone. And we also have some new planters here and some little props along the zone. A lot more scare zone props as we exit. Some lighting trusses, some more props. They added some fencing along the side here, and we just have these little shacks all over the zone. That's pretty much it for the Scarecrow Zone right now. We'll keep you guys posted with more updates. It is very interesting that the cart looks like it had some changes though. We have a couple food tents over here by Kids Zone, and this one does have some menus out, so just pause the screen if you want to read it. And on this side we have a different set of menus as well. Some of these look interesting, the items on here. So we have more menus at this location over here. This one's a pretty neat one. Just pause the screen, and we're going to show you guys this side over here. Oh yeah. Here's another food tent. This one's themed to Chucky. And let's look at the menus over at this booth. Let's pause the screen, and we'll show you the other side as well. So this year we're supposed to have roaming chainsaw hordes in Springfield. At the moment, the police car and the chief from the Springfield area are missing, but they're just going under a brief refurbishment. They should be returning soon. And we're probably just gonna ride a Men in Black, see how it's doing. Before we head on to Men in Black, we have this, looks like a drink tent over here, but there's no menus on it right now. And one of them by Kids Zone didn't have menus on it yet either, but we will keep you guys informed of when we do have the addition to the tent. Just got off Men in Black. We maxed out the second time. I didn't max out the first time. We won't be having a house here. So no house back here for Men in Black tent this year for Horror Nights. Instead, we have the Blumhouse going at the Fast and the Furious location. Looks like we have some weather starting to roll in. And we have Nightmare Fuel Wildfire. It's been having rehearsals like every night. But that's going to be at the stage show this year for Horror Nights. Right over here. Can't see much from out here. We'll be able to see a lot more once we actually see the show during Horror Nights. We have a couple updates in this area of the park. This food tent doesn't have any menus yet. It's just a drink area, like a bar tent. But these lamps over here have some red light bulbs, which they had last year right around Horror Nights. So over here, we have the return of the Chucky photo op, which was here last year. It wasn't too amazing. You just got a free photo. It would blow some air at you, a little scare. They don't have any menus on this food tent yet, and I think they actually did have menus the other day. They just took them down. Nothing else going on in this area right now. So we don't have too many updates to this whole food area back here, but we do have some menus, so let's show you around. Pause the screen if you want to look at this one. So this is all theming into the witch scare zone right across the street. This is all runes and stuff, witch decorations, and we have some bars over here with some menus on them. It's really cool themed bars. It's probably the same menu that we just showed you right outside before we entered here. And these bars keep going all the way around the back. And it's all the same menus. They're just getting them all prepared. But it's all the same stuff though. We have seen most of the food tents all lit up at night, and we have shown you guys that in the last few videos we were here. So definitely if you want to see them, how they glow at night, check those out. But we're going to be seeing that all during the Halloween Horror Night season. So that's pretty neat. And this is the Conjure the Dark Scare Zone, which is the one for witches. These props right over here are new. They were from the Lair of the Banshee Scare Zone. We've had these props here last week with the trees. That's a fog machine right there. These little runes here are also new. A lot of cool details on them. The stage is cool. We have something wrapped up. A lot of plants. And we have another rune all the way over here, which is also from Lair of the Banshee. And it was also in the Terror Queen Scare Zone last year as well. Yeah, these props were here last week, but this one's new. We've been covering the Fast and the Furious Horror Nights tent a lot, but there has been no changes, so we're not going to cover it. Nothing to see different on the exterior. That's where Blumhouse is going to be. But over at the food truck right here, we do have a menu, so we'll show you that. So before we head down to New York, we have this tent, which has nothing on it right now. Well, let's head down, show you guys all the updates. You see all the string lights in the sky for this zone. And we have the theming here, but nothing new has been added. Louis Pizza is going to be the location for Scare Actor Dining this year, so that's going to be really neat. It's a buffet style thing. And then we have some new menus and signage here in the meats locker for meaty meats. We have been showing you guys this in the last few updates. But here are the menus, and here are the items on the menu. Looks like the Beating Heart Gummy has returned this year. As you can see, it's called the Meat Locker. We're gonna head in and show you some stuff. We had a whole dead body here yesterday from I saw on social media, but we have a lot of meat props. This is where they prepare the food. And they also have some stuff over here. And this is just a sign. And then also, this might be a little photo op here. Or like some kind of boo hole for scare actors. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. A lot of stuff going on over here. As you can see the menu here, they have like fake meat items. But yeah, looks really neat. So right here, half of Delancey Street has reopened. They're just doing some repavement stuff. And the Blues Brothers stage is reopened, so the little temporary stage has now been removed in this area. A week ago, Mommy was having some team member previews on the weekend. And then they shut the previews down early because they had a lot of issues with the ride, and there's still a lot of issues going on. So we don't have a reopening date for this, so if anyone tells you it's probably wrong. But we will let you guys know when Mommy's gonna reopen, and we will hopefully ride it soon. But we do have some Scare Zone props over here. Nothing new has really been added to the Scare Zone though, a lot of it's just the same stuff. Let's give you guys an update with the Monsters store. So this is the Sahara Traders gift shop. Once it closes, it should be a good sign of when Mommy's gonna reopen if they change some stuff around in here. But yeah, you see the whole exit ramp for Mommy here. Checkout counters, some photos, some cool stuff. The Mummy shirt for the Halloween Horror Nights house. We also have a new Monsters scented candle, which is, I haven't seen anyone show this yet. But yeah. This guy used to be outside the store, but now he's inside. We have some people training for Horror Nights house ops. You can see the black and orange shirts up ahead. And we have the Marilyn Monroe show about to happen. And these food tents aren't new. We've seen these the last few times we've been here. A lot of them have lights now. And let's see the menus on them. Remember, just pause the screen to get a nice look at them. And then we have these two tents over here. And one of these side signs, you'll see they have one of those on the way back for that first tent. This is the other menu on the side of this tent here that I forgot to show. It's the same menu as this with the drinks. So this Scare Zone here, there hasn't been many updates. They've covered the candy here, probably so it doesn't get damaged for the rain and the weather, but we do have that covered up, which is most likely a body. This is for the Sweet Revenge Scare Zone. And nothing new over here. The tribute store looks like it's going to be opening during team member preview for team members, and it should be opening September 1st, the night before Horror Nights, or just during the day, for pass holders, or maybe even the day before September 1st. So we will let you guys know. But this tribute store is supposed to have a cemetery, a witch's hut, a pumpkin patch, and the last room is supposed to be themed to the Scare Zone. They're supposed to connect into each other. So we have these food tents over here as well, across from Transformers. You can take a look at all the menus here. It looks like this menu is the same as the one on the other side. And then this one doesn't even have any menus, although it does have a couple here. So you should look at this one here, and then this one right here. So right over here is where the old Monsters Cafe was. It looks like it's getting rethemed to the Minions Cafe. A lot of demolition here. And we have a whole setup for that private buyout, which you saw signs for by Nightmare Fuel. I don't know if there's a concert going on. I know the Maroon 5 event's gonna happen sometime soon. I don't know if that's tonight or what. So yeah, Maroon 5's having a concert tonight. We have a whole setup, private event. But yeah, so that's why Studios closes at 6 tonight and Islands will close a little later. So we do have some weather, but we're probably gonna head to Islands anyways after this to show you some stuff. But let me show you some updates before we head out of this park. We have the other side of the Minions Cafe that's being worked on right now. Let's see if we can see anything. Not much, just some demolition work. And then over here is where they're gonna have the Minions attraction replacing the old Shrek one. It's gonna be a moving walkway type attraction. You interact with different sets. And finally over here we have the Horrors of Halloween scare zone. This set piece here represents the Sweet Revenge scare zone. And a lot of these set pieces have been shifted around. This one is representing the Scarecrow scare zone. And then we have a couple more. A lot of cool vines. They added some like camo netting. You can see Little Boo right there. Hard to see with the lighting though. They have some fencing along the sides. This one has a 31. This one is for the Witches scare zone, Under the Dark. And it looks like this zone's extending all the way out into the street because we have the Graveyard Deadly Unrest representation, and then we have this for the Pumpkin Lord. He's supposed to be in this giant pumpkin. He's from the Wicked Growth House last year. Can't wait to see the Pumpkin Lord return this year. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have going on in this zone right now. Before we head to Islands, let's show you guys some of the merchandise. They did take a lot off the shelves, but we do have a couple new items. The Spirit jersey here they have, which is brand new, and it's $65. But yeah, they had some Halloween merch, which they took off the shelves. This little coaster's new, and it is $6. A lot of the Monsters Screamer merch, those are all here. The Jurassic World popcorn buckets that light up are here as well. We have some Chucky merch. This is sort of new. And the popcorn buckets are, I believe, $28. $25, as you can see. And the first refill is free. And we have the new Blumhouse shirt. This one looks really neat. This shirt is $30. Is there anything on the back? Nothing on the back. It's disappointing because they had the new house shirt, but then they took it off the shelf. It looks like we're waiting out the rain before we head to Islands of Adventure. Now that we let the rain pass, or like at least the first wave of it, we're gonna head to Islands now. In my last video, I did show you guys the Weekend Bar, which is the after hours bar. It's where they had a lot of the Mardi Gras stuff. It's across the street from Transformers. They have some menus up, but I believe all the drinks at that bar are the same ones that are at some of the other food tents and drink tents. They just renamed, so like they have a Save Your Tears drink and maybe a Blinding Lights themed beverage. But other than that, it's all just renamed. It should be the same beverages. Last time we were here, we showed you guys the little refurbishment they're doing here with some of the awnings as you enter Islands. I don't know if those are the same ones as last time, or if they have if that's a different set that's being replaced right now. So the Christmas tree, or the Christmas shop in port of entry has been closed. Some scaffolding on it. They're just doing some exterior refurbishment, but the store is still open though. So right now we do have some weather, so all of the outdoor attractions are closed right now in Islands and in Studios too. We're going to be going over our hype list and for Horror Nights this year. We've already gone over like in depth all of the zones, shows, and houses and everything at the event. We're going to rank them my most anticipated while we're here today. Also, this arch and Seuss Landing has not been completed for a while. The Griffin's still under construction walls, probably just redoing some concrete over here. Just brief refurbishment. Hopefully the walls will disappear pretty soon though. We're probably going to head to Poseidon's Ferry while we have some of the weather. Hopefully it's not too long of a wait. We might leave the line if it's too long. 40 minutes, let's see how long it'll actually be. If the line is too long, we might come back later. So it's lightly raining, but over here in the Lost Continent area, we have some stuff to show you guys. Some new additions to the boutique. And then also, the Sinbad area still has construction walls in front of the entrance to Sinbad. I don't know what they're doing with the attraction. They've had it here for a while. We will keep you guys updated if there's any progression. Yeah, another advertisement to get your face in the tribute store. Let's see that merchandise. We've already covered a lot of the merchandise in here. There's nothing really new except these candles here. These keychains and stuff, and the 4-pack of buns are also new. The witch's candle is also decent smell. And we also have this new leather jacket for the studio screamers. The jacket is $95, and that's the front of the leather jacket. This poster's new right over here. Looks pretty neat. Let's see the price on it. $37 for that poster. I believe this was here last time we were here, the Studio Screamer shirt, the button down. And here's the other sticker sheet I was trying to show you guys last time we were here. We have the Little Boo statue. It looks like he's propped up differently. I'm not a big fan of him. And this is some wall art, or just decor of Little Boo. We have a Studio Screamer shirt here for $35. Nothing on the back. National Frankenstein Day. They had Frankenstein popcorn buckets out yesterday, but they were sold out. I think they actually took them off the shelf just like the other merch. But we have the pin set just like last year. These look really neat. And they are 50 bucks. I got these on sale at the end of the season for about like $15. But yeah, and then we have more scented candles over here. We have a Little Boo scented candle. This one down here is just a witch candle again. On top of the two candles we've already tried, they have the Dia de los Muertos candle as well. Let's go sniff it. That one's not as good. The Little Boo one's probably the better one. It smells like cinnamon. See if they have any other merch around the store. Everything else is pretty much the same with what we've seen already. Nothing else is new yet. The fanny packs have also returned. They're $32. Looks like they're pretty decent size. Cool design on the strap. Pretty high quality material. So we have a whole display of assorted treats over here. Here are the prices. They have cool little Casper marshmallows. Looks like there's 4 in a pack. You have some jumbo lollipops. These are pretty neat. You have a witch and a pumpkin one here too, which are half price compared to the big ones, which are 10 bucks. These are 5. And yeah, it's the assorted treats. They're pretty neat looking. Here's another hint to the Dead Coconut Club in the boutique store. So we were waiting out the storm in the boutique, and they had these Little Boo sippy cups, and they had been sold out of them for a little bit. So right now we are in Hogsmeade. Hagrid's is down for weather. Everything is still down for weather. We're gonna see how long it'll take before some of the attractions reopen. So we still have lightning. So they're 30 minutes from the last strikes when they start their safety checks, and we've had lightning. So Hagrid's won't be opening for a while, and Hagrid's does take the longest to reopen. So always hit another attraction first. We're just check on Velocicoaster, see how it's doing. I mean, of course Velocicoaster's still down for weather, but we're gonna head over. And hopefully it'll reopen soon once the lightning slows down. Velocicoaster courtyard's pretty quiet over here. If it reopens, we'll be some of the first in line. We'll ride it like 15 times. Gonna go in the queue and wait out the storm. This queue's empty. It's being used as a shelter right now. There's no one in this queue. It's empty. That guy was the last one in the queue. Everyone's just left to go to other attractions. There wasn't gonna be a long wait.
May we have your attention, please? Due to inclement weather, all raptor runs at Jurassic World, Velocicoaster have been suspended for your safety. While you are more than welcome.
So we've just been waiting out the weather in the queue. I just heard the weather signal on one of the radios. We will be still going through a Horror Nights ranking, so stay tuned for that. I'm super hyped for Horror Nights this year. I'm just kind of saving it for a good time for us to talk about the rankings, because we're about to ride Velocicoaster. So we just got off a rainy ride on Velocicoaster. I'm soaked now. They reopened, as you can see. Oh yeah, but we do have a rainbow. It's hard to see, my lens is fogging up. So right now, my lens is very fogged up. I can't really do much about that. It's just so humid. But like I said, we're gonna go through our Horror Nights hype list for this year while it's pouring rain right now. Because you know, you gotta prepare for opening night. It's probably gonna have pouring rain. So just prepare for that. Anyways, for House is my, we're gonna start on the bottom of the list. But before we go into House, why don't we do shows, right? So, in my number 2 spot, we're gonna have Ghoulish, which is the water show. And then my number 1 most anticipated show this year is gonna be Halloween Nightmare Fuel Wildfire. I'm excited to see the changes they make from last year's show. and how we're gonna have a full show this year. Okay, I just wiped the camera off a little bit. That's a little bit better. So then, those are both of the shows. And Wildfire, we're gonna have the full few girls from the UK. They're here this year because international travel is open, so that's gonna be really neat. But for zones, my least anticipated zone right now is Scarecrow Cursed Soil, because after seeing the barn today, it doesn't look like it's gonna be as enclosed as I hoped it would be. But hopefully I'm proven wrong. All these things are subject to change once the event starts. And then at the end of the event, it's also going to change again because some of the stuff changes throughout the season. But this is just my predictions based off the little information we know right now. Next is Sweet Revenge. I don't really know enough about this zone to... I know about some of the stuff they're going to have in the zone. I just don't know if it's going to be my number 1 right now. Number 3 is Conjure the Dark. It's the one with the witches. And from what I've heard so far, they're going to have a cool like cast change show. And this zone sounds really neat from some information I've heard, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. And then we have Graveyard Deadly Unrest. I think the characters are going to be really neat in this graveyard zone, and the props are really amazing so far. And then my number 1 zone is the Horrors of Halloween, which is the entrance zone. Pumpkin Lord is going to be really cool to see up in the front. It's going to be great photo ops and stuff. I really wish we would have Pumpkin Lord on stilts. I don't think we're going to have that this year, so that might drop this zone in the rankings. And some other zone might take my number 1 spot probably for opening night. But I'm still excited to see what kind of characters we're going to have in this zone. And the theming's really cool. But now let's get to the houses. Okay, so my least anticipated Halloween Horror Nights house this year is going to be Halloween. I'm really not excited for it. I mean, we've had it return like 2 different times that I've been through, and it's been here like 3 different years. So like, I'm used to it, it's nothing new, and I don't know, unless they make some really cool changes this year to some of the past times they've had at the event, I don't know if it's going to be good. I mean, I really don't know. So it's kind of at the bottom of the list, because I'm just expecting it's going to be similar to what we've already seen at the event. Number 9 is going to be Spirits of the Coven, which is the witch house. I don't know, it's supposed to be 1920s speakeasy flapper witches. It kind of sounds like, I don't know, it almost sounds like it's going to be boring, but I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope the sets are going to be really cool. I just don't know a lot about the house, so hopefully I'm blown away by it because it's so low on my list. Dead Man's Pier is at number 8. Now, even though it's at number 8, it doesn't mean that it's a bad house or anything. I've heard some amazing stuff about this one. It's just the ones above this one I'm a little more hyped for. Although I think some of this is going to change once opening night starts. So Dead Man's Pier, I've heard we're supposed to have like a whole harbor in the house with a lighthouse and a ship. So all that sounds really neat. But the scare zone that we had in 2017, all of the monsters, they're just kind of okay looking, and I don't know if that's what we're gonna have in the house or not. And I'm afraid it's gonna be a lot like Dead Waters, where the sets were really good, but like the scares weren't that great. And I have a feeling that's what the house is gonna be like. So that's why it's kind of low on my list at the moment. As we exit islands, we have construction walls here blocking the exit, but we still have an exit here that we're using.
No, you're right.
This is just, they're probably refurbing some of the concrete and stuff. So next on my list, number 7, we have Descendants of Destruction. Now, I've heard that it's supposed to be similar to Seeds of Extinction. That was a really good house. But Descendants of Destruction is supposed to take place in a New York subway, and I don't really know how the sets are going to be. I'm excited for this one. I just don't know if the creatures are going to be very repetitious throughout the house. But like I said, the set design should be really good, and I'm actually kind of hyped for this one. It's just all the houses above this I'm more hyped for. Then we have Blumhouse at number 6. Blumhouse is going to feature Black Phone and Freaky. Freaky was a pretty good film, and Black Phone was really good. I just don't see how they're going to translate Black Phone into a house. It's a lot of repetitious scenes, and I don't know how they're going to do the scares, but like, Freaky should have some really cool scenes. So that's why it's number 6, because it's just, I feel like it's going to be a sleeper hit, but it's not going to be like, that. I don't know, it's going to be somewhere mid-tier, I feel. Now, I have Hellblock Horror at my number 5 spot right above Blumhouse, because this house is supposed to feature the return of a lot of Horror Night characters from years past, and it's the last minute house that they're putting in. So I'm excited to see what they do with this. It's supposed to be like a prison, and like a lot of Horror Night monsters are trying to escape, and it might be something like Cabin in the Woods, and I heard that was an amazing house. So if it's something like that, my hype's pretty up there for this house. Now I know you might be mad at this, but number 4 is gonna be The Weeknd. It's not my number 1 this year. I'm not a huge fan of his music videos or his music, but I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do with this concept, because it's more like an original house. They're gonna expand on some of his ideas and like make a whole house out of it. It should be really interesting, and I'm excited for those visuals in the house. So it's at my number 4 spot. Before I get into my top 3, I want to show you guys the Great Movie Escape here. It's supposed to open in the fall, and it's almost fall. And they announced this early in the summer. They have not announced any other details about it. No tickets have been announced. There's supposed to be pass holder discounts and stuff. We don't have any info about this. So I'm very hyped to see what we're gonna have in this attraction, the escape rooms. We're gonna have Jurassic World and Back to the Future, and if it's a success, we might even add Jaws in the near future. So I'm excited, and we will keep you guys posted when there's anything new added or announced to this attraction. So we have some music here, but before I get into my top 3, I want to show you guys one more thing. We've been talking about the Dead Coconut Club a lot in our video with the Horror Nights updates, and this was just put out this evening right at the Red Coconut Club. Let's show you guys. We have a bunch of signage for the Dead Coconut Club. As you can see, we have banners on the building over here. Look at that banner. Then we have the monsters over here in the side. These look amazing. These look awesome. And then on this side we have some more. So another sign here. And then a couple more monsters. These look amazing. I can't wait for this to open. I don't know if it's gonna be a bar or what it's gonna be. A whole club. But it's gonna be for Horror Nights, and it looks really cool. We're gonna go by the window and see if we can get a little closer look. We do have some curtains blocking, but we have some netting going on. Looks like we have a lot of theming. You can actually see a lot inside of here. Some Halloween stuff. A monster here. A pumpkin. Looks really neat inside. A ghost. From this window you can see like some masks, and that's about it from here. Not much else going on that we can see. Actually, never mind. See Bride of Frankenstein. Oh, there's a lot you can see in this angle now. The curtain was blocking for a little bit. It's really cool looking. So the Dead Coconut Club's coming along really good. They had the curtain shifted to the side, so I think they're like trying to have us tease, and they're letting us see that view. So they have it wide open, so it's like really easy to see all that. But here we have number 3 on my spec list, or my hype list, is Bugs Eaten Alive. This house, really hyped for. I've heard really good things about it. I've heard it's going to be really scary. They're trying to make it a really scary house to complete, and some of the creative people are having a hard time walking through this house. So Bugs Eaten Alive is definitely my number 3 spot, and I really can't wait for this house. I'm hyped for it. Number 2 is going to be the Fiesta de Chupacabras. Now, Chupacabras is this legendary like tale, and these are some mythical creatures that, and I'm hyped for it because this house was like canceled in years past, and if it's anything like what I've heard about the original Werewolf in London house, then this house is going to be insane, and the theming I'm expecting is to be really good. I really can't wait for the Chupacabra house. It just sounds like a really cool idea, and I'm happy they went with it this year. Now lastly, my number 1 house is going to be Monsters Legends Collide. Now, a lot of people are sad that Monsters is returning. You know, Monsters, they're pretty good, but like from 2019, that house was amazing. And some of the best scenes in the 2019 Monsters house was with the Wolfman, the Gillman, and the Mummy. Now, 2 of those guys are returning this year. And I've heard there's Dracula in the house, but he's also not a very big role this year. So, but I've heard some bungee scares. The facade's supposed to be a pyramid that was announced at like Spookala. And I've heard some really cool details about this house, and you guys are gonna have to wait and see. But like, even though it's returning, I think it's gonna be an amazing house. The sets, the smells, the facade, the scares. I think it's gonna have a perfect balance of everything, and I can't wait for it. It's really my number 1 spot right now. So we'll see what happens, and I can't wait for this house. But yeah, that's my hype list for right now. Opening night, we'll update you guys at the end of the night and let you guys know what we think. But that's the hype list for now. So stay tuned for that video on opening night, and you're gonna see what we think after we do all 10. And we do have a guide on how to do all 10 houses in one night. So if you want to know how to do that, definitely watch that video. And if you want to see any of my other horror night construction updates, definitely watch those videos as well. And we're going to keep checking on the Dead Coconut Club as it has more progress. But that's going to be it for today's video. So definitely like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe, and follow me on social media, as I will post a lot more frequently on there before I post on YouTube. It's going to be on Twitter at Ethan Hersha and on Instagram at Florida Theme Park Pics. And we'll see you guys in the next one.